Warning: this podcast may contain graphic violence, sexual themes, and bad language. If our language offends you, we apologize, but we do not give a fuck. Be mindful of your kids listening.
The Evil Never Dies podcast.
Hey, evil ones. Thanks for listening to the Evil Never Dies podcast.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. I'm Brett, and that's Carl.
And this is Evil Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. He's the host of the Easter egg hunt every year. So special guest tonight is Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
He is a bad bunny too. And you're Brett and I'm Carl, and this is his Bad Bunny. And there's Halloween, but she don't want to talk, so
She won't talk.
you don't want to. She's mad. She's mad because Bad Bunny's on instead of her.
Oh, that Bad Bunny's taking her spotlight.
Sorry, Halloween. Bad Bunny's, it's his day to shine. He only appears twice, at Halloween and Easter.
And for Easter,
And for Easter, he's here. And
Wha-
we're here. And guess what?
we're finally doing something.
The Phantom of the Opera. Look at that.
Finally,
Look at that figurine.
after 2 months of promising you.
And me doing the actual show and not using it. Because it sucked.
Oh,
God, I watched that last week and it was awful. I couldn't say any of the names right, and I didn't even know what I was talking about.
yeah, it was, you were sort of put under pressure, though.
I was put under pressure.
That's
I performed miserably under pressure.
been over a month ago.
Shit, longer than that, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
We got everything in Easter green tonight over here in the Count Karabi Museum.
Easter green.
Why not?
I
Nice
still
hat.
haven't put up my lights yet.
You need to.
I know I'm gonna do it. So
I should have put in pastel, whatever that word is, colors. Had everything in pink and yellow, but I did not.
so I hope everybody's had a good Easter and the kids make out on the Easter egg hunt.
All was well.
Awesome. Juliet scored big time. I got her she's into the monster trucks now. I got her a Scooby-Doo monster truck.
Now that's awesome right there. I'd like to have one of those myself.
It was it's just a little bitty thing too, and it was $18, man. Toys are expensive nowadays.
As expensive as Taylor Swift concerts, they are indeed.
Let's not even go there.
All right, so tonight we're finally doing the 1962 Hammer production of The Phantom of the Opera.
Yes, we are. And it was directed by Terrence Fisher, written for this adaptation by John Elder, based on the 1910 novel
You say it.
Le Fantôme de l'Opéra. Does that sound French?
That's Le Fantôme d'Opéra. How's that sound?
And by Gaston Leroux.
Gaston Leroux.
All
And
right.
was a Hammer film production.
Produced by
and-
Anthony Hines and Basil Keys.
Basil Keys.
Yep.
Okay.
Cinematography by Arthur Grant. Edited by Alfred Cox. Music by Edwin Astley. And I actually like the score on this. Pretty good.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. I got a few things on the score.
And like we've said, his production company was Hammer Film Productions, distributed by J. Arthur Rank Film Distributors in the UK and Universal Pictures in the USA.
It was one of those Universal / Hammer co-productions.
Yep. Released on June 25th, 1962. Running time of 84 minutes. Country is the United Kingdom. English language. Budget was £180,000.
Ugh,
And
beyond.
it did so bad at the box office. They only counted 580,164 admissions in France.
Yeah, it was unsuccessful at the box office. It was not a hit.
To say
It
the
was
least.
actually a bigger hit in the United States than it was in England or apparently France.
Yeah, it didn't do good at all in Europe for sure.
Look, we got a guest.
Oh, we got
It's Halloween.
Look how fluffy she is. She's so fluffy.
She is. She's
She
not
wasn't
an
that
out.
fluffy last year.
Well, yeah, she
She's-
lived in a garage in Halloween props last year. Now she's
She-
been in the house.
Yeah,
She
and
sleeps in the bed on her back with her feet, her little paws sticking up. So she's gotten very domesticated.
and she's eating good. And she's quit running around, jumping, tearing shit up. So
True.
she's allowed in the house now.
Now Peter Cottontail's outside tearing stuff up.
Peter Cottontail.
The little tailless cat.
NT.
Yeah, Peter Cottontail.
Oh.
Come here, Halloween.
All right. You want me to go over the cast or what do you want to do next?
Yeah, let's do the cast, then we'll do the plot.
All right. We got Herbert Lom, or is it Loam? How do you pronounce that? Do you know?
I called it Lom.
Lom, Herbert Lom as the Phantom of the Opera / Professor Petrie. We got Heather Sears as Christine Charles. She was the female lead in the movie.
Who was not blonde.
No. she
Usually Christine is a blonde. I'm just saying.
Edward D'Souza as Harry Hunter. I guess he was the male lead.
The good guy.
Good
slash-
guy,
yeah.
suave, debonair. Michael Gough, I guess that's how you pronounce it, Go or Gow, as Lord Ambrose Darcy. Ian Wilson as the dwarf.
Hey, you shouldn't say that.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that.
Yeah.
Little person.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say midget.
Dude, don't say that. I'm going to be offended and cancel the show.
We got
Seriously.
Thorley Walters as Latimer. Harold Goodwin as Bill. Marnie Maitland as Xavier. Miriam Carlin as Charwoman. Patrick Troughton as the Rat Catcher.
Which was actually in the novel.
Yeah, and he did that guy did a good part in it too. Renee Houston as Mrs. Tucker. Keith Pyatt as Weaver. Ivor Evans as opera singer, uncredited, and his voice was overdubbed.
Poor dude.
And Patricia Clark. She was the actual soprano voice for the
Christine.
part of Heather Sears that was overdubbed.
It was Christine Charles, not Heather Sears. That was the actress.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Carl, go over the plot.
Okay, so in this version of Phantom of the Opera, they're actually in London at the London Opera House. It's not in Paris. It's 1900, and it's the first night of a new opera by Lord Ambrose, who's a wealthy asshole. We'll call him that.
Yeah.
he's annoyed when the manager informs him that the theater is not completely sold out. Box 5, I believe it was, is supposedly haunted and no one will sit there, despite the soothing efforts of the producer, which was Harry Hunter. Everyone, including the show star, is nervous and upset that a sinister force is at work. Well, guess what? There's a stagehand that's killed and his body swings out during her first performance, and
She
it's
freaks
crazy from
out.
then on. The
Yeah.
show is postponed and Maria refuses to perform again. So they got to audition new singers, and they find a promising young singer named Christine Charles. And
Yep.
there we go. Lord Ambrose approves of her, but he's not very happy.
No, because she wouldn't go back to his apartment with him.
And yeah, he was a dickhead. You know,
Yeah,
he
he
actually
was.
played in a lot of Alfred Hitchcock movies, Michael Gold.
Yeah.
He also was Alfred in the Michael Keaton Batman.
Oh, yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was actually played in Dracula for the Hammer film version of that. And he did voice work in Sleepy Hollow and The Corpse Bride for Tim Burton.
Huh.
So Michael Gould's got quite a career, but I always think of him as Alfred, I guess. I mean, or Commissioner Gordon. Which one was he?
I think he was Alfred. Yeah. He wasn't Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, he was Alfred.
Yeah.
So Michael Gould's had a pretty good career. Herbert Lom, he also was a very popular and known actor.
Yeah.
And he usually played a villain in most of the movies he was in.
Yeah.
And he was he was born in Prague, which would have been I don't know what it was back then. He was he was Czech, Czechoslovakian, they called it back then. Appeared in several movies. He was in The King and I, and that was stage performance. And the big movie he was in, let me remember this here. It was Spartacus. He played a pirate in Spartacus. And what was his other big movie? Oh yeah, he was in the Pink Panther movies.
Oh,
As Chief
okay.
Inspector.
Oh, that's where I remember
Yeah,
him.
yeah. He was in the Pink Panther movies, not
Okay.
not the cartoon Pink Panther.
He didn't play Clouseau though. He
No,
played something else.
the Chief Inspector.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So he kind of did. He was a pretty known actor, known for his deep voice and had that heavy accent. So it sort of put him in a good villain spot. So Herbert Lom was a good actor, and I thought he did a wonderful job as the Phantom. Different version of the Phantom than we've ever seen before.
Yeah.
We had the Universal Phantom, which I don't like that movie. I never did like that movie, and that's just the way it is.
The Lon Chaney one?
No, the Universal remake. I don't think Universal made the Lon Chaney one. I don't know if Universal was in business then. That was a silent film.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Scared the shit out of me though.
The first, I think, was that Lon Chaney. Universal did a remake of it, and then Hammer did this remake which is more based on the Universal one, maybe, than I don't know where they got that Lon Chaney one from. The makeup was awesome in the Lon Chaney version.
Yeah, he did all of his own makeup.
Well, yeah, he's the man of 1,000 faces. He'd do anything he fucking wants.
Yeah.
Dude was brilliant. He was ahead of his times.
Yes,
his son, Lon Chaney Jr., of course, would go on to play the Wolfman primarily as his main role.
Yeah. But
now little bit about Heather Sears, who played again, she was she was a brunette, and Christine is usually a blonde.
Yeah.
But she actually appeared at the she was actually in opera. So she was actually trained with opera. Really didn't do a lot of movies. She did get a Golden Globe Award. So she had a little bit of a career, but she was more known in TV stuff and passed away
British
at a fairly
TV.
young age.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
Now
know anything about the production of this?
I know that it was like I said, it was sort of based on the 43 remake of Universal, and Universal and Hammer had sort of made a deal after Dracula and Frankenstein when they did those.
Yeah.
So it was they signed a deal with Columbia to do a few movies, and then they were back with Universal, and they thought this was going to be a big thing. And
They
Cary
also,
Grant,
they also had deals with Universal or United Artists too.
they did, but did you know Cary Grant was actually up to play the Phantom?
Yes, he was.
And he didn't like it because it wasn't horror or gory enough for him.
Yep. Yep.
The script was actually written for Cary Grant,
Yep.
but he did not like it. He didn't like the script, so he passed on it.
Yes, he did.
And of course, it was shot.
At the infamous Bray Studios.
Yeah, we got slammed on the last time we did a Hammer film for mispronouncing.
That video's got almost 3,000 views.
I know, that's like our biggest video ever. I'm sure
That's
this one
crazy.
probably may not blow up. The London Opera House was actually filmed at Wimbledon Theatre in London, which they rented, and
Yeah.
they had like 1,000 musicians for this shoot. And
Yeah.
it's a change because they always use the Paris Opera House in Phantom of the Opera. So
Yeah. It was definitely different.
it was different.
All right. You want me to go over a little trivia here, or you got anything else you want to add? You want to go over the soundtrack or whatever, or you want me to
Well,
go in?
I thought I had more on the soundtrack, and it was Edwin Ashley who did was the composer.
Yeah.
And let me get a little bit more on him because I'd listened to the extra footage, or the, what do you call it, the bonus footage on the DVD Blu-ray, and he seemed to be more of a TV composer. So when they brought him in to do this, they sort of gave him free reins, and he actually did the soundtrack was all original stuff mostly.
Yeah.
And they also did it in English, which I sort of liked. It wasn't, usually they don't do opera in English.
Yeah.
And I think I said when I did it by myself, I'm a heavy metal dude. I don't know a lot about opera or the arts, but I actually preferred the English version. So not a lot on him, except he was more of a TV I can't even talk. TV composer, and did a lot of theme songs. He did the theme song for The Saint. I guess that would be his most famous work besides this Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a little bit on the soundtrack. There's not a lot there.
It was okay. It was a pretty good soundtrack.
Excuse me. I thought it was done really well, and it was different than all the other versions of Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. All right, let's go over some trivia. I don't really have that much, really.
Now,
at one point, Christopher Lee was considered for the Phantom.
that would have been awkward.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been very good. The Mask.
It was a rag.
Yeah, just a cloth with some tape and strings stitched around the edges, and it was painted white.
Well, now we can look at my figure just to even see that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it was done because spoiler, but not a big one. He was actually burned in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So he was covering up his burns with this. So it's and not a horrific face like the Lon Chaney Phantom.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Just
I don't know if you
more
can
grotesque.
Yeah, he was a burn victim. It's hard to see this on, and if you're on YouTube, you can see a little bit of how the face looked like without the
Yeah.
mask on. So he was a burn victim instead of a monster. And yeah, he wore a rag around it just to cover up the burns. And this, getting away from the trivia, this actually is a Phantom that is not the bad guy that he usually is. He's actually not the killer in this movie. So
Yeah.
again, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So that's a change right there. So lots of changes to this movie than we've
Mhm.
usually seen. He's more of a tragic hero than he is villain.
Yeah.
The little guy's kind of the bad guy.
Okay, because this movie flopped so bad, director Terrence Fisher,
Yeah, he got blackballed.
for like 2 years, he didn't make another film until 1964.
Yeah, it was bad. He got blackballed for it. That's pretty sad, actually, because Terrence Fisher's was an excellent director.
Okay, it says here, Cary Grant wanted to do a horror movie so bad, like you said, it wasn't gory enough.
No, he turned him down.
Uh, the ended up the dwarf or little person or whatever you want to say, call it.
Yeah, you need to save them bad turn for Jimbo's stuff.
He was the one that actually was doing the violence, and Cary Grant didn't want that. He wanted to do it all himself.
Yeah, the little guy is the more the villain in this than the Phantom. Again, that's sort of a spoiler, but it's okay. You figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
So no Cary Grant.
So he said screw it. He wasn't going to do it. So it
I
went to
couldn't see
Lom.
Cary Grant in this movie anyway, so
I
think
couldn't
that-
either, man. Really, he's more of a drama guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
A subplot involving a pair of Scotland Yard police inspectors on the trail of the Phantom was shot especially for American TV version.
Yeah, it's stupid as fuck.
And I guess Hammer was known for doing that for all
They
the
tried to
different TV.
Americanize a lot of their shows and movies. So yeah, they are known for that, or were.
And they did it also. They did that kind of
Bad
stuff
Bunny.
in The Kiss of the Vampire from 1963 and The Evil of Frankenstein from 1964, which we covered, didn't we? Didn't we do
Yes,
The
we
Evil of
did.
Frankenstein? Yes. The film takes place in 1890 and December of 1900. But the actual book wasn't written, or novel wasn't written until 1910.
Well, what does that got to do with anything?
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Bad Bunny's like, what the hell are you talking about, Bubba?
The music that Herbert Lom plays as the Phantom on the organ is the same music he played as Captain Nemo in Mysterious Island in 1961.
Okay, that's something I didn't know. You got me on something.
Gotcha. According to producer Anthony Hines, in Wayne Kinsey's book Hammer, The Bray Studio Years, again, Cary Grant refused to do the movie because they wouldn't do it the same way that he wanted to do it. And so they tried to get him to do the role of that was played by Edward D'Souza, the romantic lead, I guess you would call it, which he probably would have did a better part as that.
I think so.
Because he's like all suave and debonair and all that, So yeah.
Yeah, that character is in the other movies had a different name. They changed his name for this one. I can't even find what he was called in the other movies. That 1925 one was weird shit. Everything was different in it.
The opera is called Saint Joan, The Adventures of Joan of Arc.
Yes,
The
you're
film,
right. I knew that.
The film is set in 1900, but the actual Joan of Arc wasn't until 1920. So
I think Vincent is what that character was called in the
okay.
in the Lon Chaney version.
Even though the story takes place in the late 1800s, early 1900s, a modern exit sign is present in a shot in the haunted box.
Oh no.
Oh. During a flashback sequence, Ambrose Darcy writes his own name on the title page of the Phantom's manuscripts. It's called Symphony Number 1. The word symphony, however, is incorrectly spelled Symphany instead of Ony.
Well, nobody knew the Phantom Opera's to spell well, for Pete's sake.
And it's corrected on the printed copies of the music seen later.
Good.
A boom crane is visible in Christine's dressing room mirror briefly when the Phantom first speaks to her.
Okay.
So if you want to look for that, if you watch this movie.
I would not.
During the hanging of the stagehand during the opening scene, the wires holding the actor are visible on either side of the rope. I didn't notice that.
I've said before, I don't look for that stupid shit. It's a movie. They're going to have things like that.
In the opening shot, a poster announces the premiere of The Tragedy of St. Joan as Monday, November 27th, 1900. November 27th, 1900 actually fell on a Tuesday.
Okay, you're just getting ridiculous now with this stuff.
Oh, that's all I got for trivia.
That's all you can freaking slam the movie for, is it's shot on the wrong day.
I'm slamming it.
You are.
That's all I got for trivia, man. What else do you got?
The DVD, of course, Scream Factory. They put this out about 4 years ago.
The Blu-ray or the
Blu-ray.
Okay.
It was originally released in the Universal box set, which looked like crap. So of course, Scream Factory.
That's the one I got, ain't it?
Yeah, I think I gave you my old copy because I got them all on the Scream
It
Factory.
didn't look bad, really.
It looks really good on this. There's a lot of good special features, but there's not a lot to it. I enjoyed the guy who talked about the music. He's still alive when they filmed this, and but there's just not a lot to translate over to the podcast. It's just sort of you just have to watch it. I mean, he's sitting at a piano talking about all of his stuff. Really interesting to me, but again, it's sort of hard to translate. There's some good commentary on it. There's a making of Phantom of the Opera, which was actually featured the actor Edward de Salzy. He's still alive, and he had a lot of good memories of the film. So again, got to give the Blu-ray top notch. Scream Factory hits it home again. So it's out there. It's still available. I don't know how long Scream Factory are going to be able to keep the rights to all these Hammer films. So if you don't have it, you might want to look at getting it if you are interested in this movie.
Yeah,
Now,
or
there have
even
been
that.
many versions of Phantom of the Opera over the years. This one's different. A lot of people don't like it. Again, it was sort of a flop. It's not a typical Hammer film, but I actually find it pretty tasteful for a Hammer film, and it's a lot of imagination to it.
Yeah,
And the set is great. He actually lives basically underneath a river, underneath the opera house.
yeah.
There's like a river run under it, and it's just really good sets. Very I thought it was impressive, just the set itself. Got a double got the organ and his it's I think it's a double organ. It's really cool stuff.
Yeah. Had all kinds of stuff down there too.
He did. Yeah, all underneath the opera house.
Living in the sewer or whatever. I guess that's what it was.
I guess that was a sewer because they had the rat catcher.
Yeah.
Sort of looked like a little river almost, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was different for sure.
Definitely different. The makeup is different. The storyline is different. The opera's in English. The Christine was a brunette, so it's different than the other Phantom of the Opera movies. Do you want to go over any of the other Phantom of the Opera movies before we end? I mean, there's been a lot
Sure,
of
go over 'em, man. I haven't seen it, a lot of them, so in a while at least that I would even really know anything.
Well, the
that much
original
about
was
'em.
the 1925 The Phantom of the Opera, which was a silent film starring Lon Chaney with that famous makeup, monstrous Phantom of the Opera.
Freaky,
Very scary
scared the
shit.
shit out of me.
That and Nosferatu are two of the scariest looking things ever.
Yeah,
But I don't know that they're good movies because they're freaking silent films and shit, but they're creepy as hell.
yeah, they are.
They'd be
Yeah,
good ambient playing in the background of a haunt.
yeah.
So after that, we had the 1943, I guess it was a remake with Claude Rains in it from Universal, which was sort of known as the Phantom of the Opera to most people, I think.
Yeah.
I was never a big fan of that movie. I found it boring as shit. It's mostly a bunch of singing. Then we had this one, which was 1962. After that, there's a lull in Phantom of the Opera movies until Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger himself, played in a 1989 version of Phantom of the Opera.
I don't think I've seen that one.
He looks like Freddy in it.
Does he?
Yeah. When they take the mask off, he's got the Freddy face almost.
Really?
I've got it on actually a Scream Factory put it out.
Really? I might have to watch it.
It's pretty silly. After that, we had a Italian 1998. Dario, what's his name?
Argento.
Yeah, I can never say his name. Actually did one that had
Argentino.
Julian Sands in it from Warlock.
Yeah.
And I believe Julian Sands is currently missing.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
Huh.
But yeah, 1998, that was a pretty good version, actually. It's
I think
more
I might have seen
horrific.
that one.
And I think it's got the daughter in it, and she's like showing her boobs off.
She's in all of his movies, dude.
And always gets naked in his movies.
Asia,
yeah. Whatever.
Argento.
Argento. We got to say it with the Cat Krabi voice, Argento.
It's spelled Asia, but it's pronounced Asia.
But I'm concerned about Julian Sands. I'm gonna look up and see if they found this guy.
Huh.
We're gonna look this up real quick.
He was missing, huh?
Yeah, the dude went missing.
Missing like Kanye.
Kanye? No,
Kanye was missing there for a while. They couldn't find Kanye nowhere.
Well, no, I think he was on a hiking trip and I can't get my keyboard to work.
Oh
We'll go to the
shit.
iPad. I want to know what's up with Julian Sands. I'm quite concerned.
Oh, this was also nominated for Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films in 2006 for that best DVD collection that I got,
okay. So
which
the
they
bat,
which they
this-
turned into a Blu-ray collection.
which version?
The one that I got.
Oh, I thought we. I've done. I'm confused now.
The box set thing.
I thought we were talking about the 1998 version.
No.
You're jumping around, Bubba.
I was talking about the movie, the film we're doing.
We're talking about the 1998 version right now.
Well, you were looking something up, so I backtracked.
You're fucking me up now.
Fucking you up.
Julian
tiny
Sands
guy?
is been missing since January 13th. He was hiking, and they have never found him.
Really?
Really?
I always liked him, man. He did a good part. That Warlock movie is awesome.
So he's gone, I guess.
Wow.
That's sad. That's
Where
really
was he
sad.
hiking at?
California.
Fucking mountain lion, dude.
Probably
got-
so.
Probably got ate by a mountain lion.
Well,
They're always picking somebody off there on them hiking trails.
they never found him. Unfortunately, he's still missing. So
Probably got fucking ate, dude.
possible.
That'd be a fucking way to go, wouldn't it? Get ate by a fucking mountain lion.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Well, and the last back to what I was doing. You got me so confused now. I don't even know where I'm at.
After the 1980, what's after
We had the
89?
2004 Andrew Lloyd Webber, based on the musical,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
probably the most famous and most popular version of Phantom of the Opera. And I even own that on Blu-ray. So yeah,
Okay.
can't knock that. I don't like musicals, but that was pretty fucking cool.
Who
So
was
that's
that?
really the
Who was
the
in
main-
that one?
Who was in that one?
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
Oh, was he?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And
I'd have to
Emily
go watch that.
Roston. I don't even know who she is. It was an actual opera singer person, but it's a good movie. I actually like it.
Did Gerard Butler sing?
Yeah, he did. He did his own singing in the whole movie,
Really?
and an awesome job.
I like
Not only
that
was he a
guy.
good Dracula, he was a very good Phantom. So
Yeah, he's good. He's good in everything he does. Even them stupid.
don't talk bad about him. You'll get
I'm not.
Natasha
No,
mad
I'm
at
not
you.
talking bad about
You
him. I
got
like
mad at
him.
me because I kind of said something of the Dracula 2000 about him. She's like, "Don't talk about him." I'm like, okay, I saw it. He
Oh,
was
I like
good.
Gerard Butler. 300. He plays a good part in everything he does, man. I was saying even them sort of dumb save the president, save the White House shows, that he does.
White House Down or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, he does a good job. I like him a lot, man. So he's a good actor.
Well, that's the main versions of Phantom of the Opera that have been released on film. So that ends everything. There is a song called Phantom of the Opera from Iron Maiden on their 1980 album, Iron Maiden, and Phantom of the Opera Ghost by Iced Earth on their horror story album or horror show album, which we reviewed several months ago.
Yes.
So that's all I got about the Phantom of the Opera. That's it.
I ain't got anything else either.
I guess
Guess
we're gonna
that's
have
it.
to. How many Phantom Opera Ghost
Masks.
whatever's app? Yeah, that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to give this one a 2, dude.
Two?
A 2.
No way.
Yeah, man, 2.5. I'll go 2.5.
So you're not a fan, huh?
It's not my favorite Hammer movie for sure.
It's not your typical Hammer movie.
No, it's different than anything I've ever seen. I've watched it like 6 times in the last 2 months.
Yeah, no, we keep watching it because we keep not doing it.
And it doesn't get any fucking better every time I watch
No.
it. So
I quite enjoy it. I find I enjoy.
it's okay. I think it was produced very well. I don't You know, I don't know
I
why
like
that
the
guy got
sets.
shit
I like
over it.
the acting. It's probably, I don't know, that Andrew Lloyd Webber Phantom is just great. I'm sorry, that can't nobody knock that, but I enjoy this version of Phantom of the Opera. Shit, I give this movie a 4.
Giving it a 4,
A
really?
4.
Okay.
I like it. I used to have a poster on the wall of it, but it got replaced by The Curse of the Werewolf.
Well, now you got the action figure and
Yeah, I actually cycle around my my Hammer posters from time to time, and right now Night Creatures took the Phantom's place, but he'll reappear soon. So yeah, I do enjoy this movie. I like it, and
it
I
was
do,
okay.
but
It
I'm a
wasn't-
big Hammer
it's not,
fan.
it's not their best, I don't think.
It's
best
different. It's not really a horror movie. It's not at all.
Yeah, wasn't
More
very
of a mystery,
scary.
I think. Well, kind of.
Wasn't very scary
It wasn't scary, no.
at all. So
Well, the only
Like-
one that was scary was the Lon Chaney one, and just because he had cool makeup.
yeah.
Well, that's
Oh.
my take on Phantom of the Opera. I've
All
covered
right.
all versions tonight because we probably will never review the others. So
You never know. We might throw something out there.
I
Just
doubt it
never
very
know what
seriously.
never know what we're gonna do.
We're not going to do any more Phantom of the Operas after tonight. That has been put to rest. We have finally gotten past the curse of the Phantom of the Opera ghost.
Yes, we have.
And I don't think this was a very good episode myself. I think the episode I did by myself might have been a little bit more fun.
Oh, you do? Well,
Yeah.
maybe we'll throw it at the end of this one.
No, I don't
Since
know.
you found it. You found it now, so
I found it, but you ain't got it.
yeah,
I got
didn't
pictures
download-
from it. I
it
sent you a
expi-
picture from it.
You sent it to me and it expired.
Yeah, no, you didn't even
download
get
it.
it in time. Well, that's when your computer was fucked up.
Yeah, I couldn't even
But we'll
fucking
give you.
download it.
I won't knock you for it. No, I do think I covered the music better in that one, but I had just watched the commentary on it, and so a little disappointed in myself. I should have done a better job tonight, but
Well, maybe we'll throw it out,
It
throw it
is
at the end, man.
it is Easter, and Bad Bunny wants to go now. He's
Thanks,
done.
Easter Bunny.
That's
Thanks, Easter
Bad
Bunny.
Bunny. He ain't Easter Bunny. He's Bad Bunny.
Thanks, Bad Bunny.
Just like the rapper Bad Bunny. He's on my WWE game.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, and check us out on all the social media, the YouTube. Get some merch if you want. If you want to count
Shirts.
Karabi
Look,
shirt,
I got one right here. You got the Karabi shirt on.
Karabi shirt on.
I got
And,
this one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that
That messed
made-
my hair up.
that made me moist.
Why?
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, and stay evil, everybody.
Come if you dare within these walls. On stage is color, beauty, and light. But in the shadows lurks a monstrous evil.
Young woman, you must come with me.
Terror haunts these dusty corridors. Murder waits its call in the dressing rooms. And on cue, death makes his entrance. They have no right to love and happiness, for this beautiful young girl is tangled in a web of terror. Phantom of the Opera, a hideous echo of a night of agony and horror. A night that must be avenged, even from beyond the grave.